Hello again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Had to double check, make sure I had the right score. Hey everybody, welcome to Orange Weekly Halftime Hash. Make sure you guys are posting your comments, questions, and concerns. We are down by 10-9 for the Jets due to the missed extra point. I'd like to say it's a bad hold. However, the long field goal was also a missed field goal. But hey, we had on the 1 yard line, drove it down to kick the field goal. So there's some good things to talk about in this first half. There's also some really frustrating things to talk about. But hey, guys, we're here for you. Make sure you guys are posting your questions, comments, and concerns. Rob, thanks for joining, big dog. Yeah, hate the Jets. I'll tell you right now, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. And I hope he's watching. Because I have a buddy at work who is a big Jets fan. Don't know why. Grew up in New York, whatever. Decided that he's going to stick with the Jets. If we lose today, I'm not going to hear the end of it. And I'm not okay with that. So I want to make sure that we beat the Jets. So here we go. First initial thoughts for the halftime. How do I want to say this? I don't want to toot my own horn, but you can tell who's calling the offense on the line and who's not. On these 3rd and 1s, we're running quarterback sneaks and runs as opposed to any other long passes that take forever to develop or any other situation. So we have that going for us. Our defense is absolutely playing lights out. I think they're doing a very good job. One broken play, Breece Hall getting out. That was a broken play. I don't know how to explain it. It's literally, as an offensive coordinator, that's exactly how you draw it up, and it worked out exactly the way they drew it up, and that's how that works. So as we go into the rest of the game, we can't give up the big plays like that, and that's really what it comes down to. All right, let's see what we got here. Roger says, oh no, we suck again. Rob says, I hate the win. Thanks for joining. Appreciate this, the halftime. Greetings from Mexico. I'd have to get my wife to pronounce that. Coatzacoalcos. Yep, I'm going to have her come in here and pronounce that later. Rob, I hate the refs. Honestly, hey, if we're talking about positives in this first half compared to the first 5 games of the season, 6 games of the season, the one thing that's really nice is that our penalties have been. We have not had a lot of penalties. I think all the way up until like the last 3 minutes of the second quarter, we had no penalties. We finally got one false start, but other than that, I think we've been doing a pretty good job. Yeah, the refs on that. There was a couple calls that they did not get. A couple pass interference calls. A little bit rough, but we are getting a lot less penalties, which means the coaching staff is focused, and the players are focused on making sure that we don't hurt ourselves. I think that's the big part of it. To a dome stadium. Apparently, it's windy out there. Look, guys, I'm not in Colorado right now. I'm actually in probably a windier, like, you'd be surprised, but I'm in a windier location than you guys are right now. I promise you. Less penalties for sure. Why can't we run screens right? Yeah, screens need time to develop, and I don't think Rypien is comfortable enough to give that time. I don't think that the timing... Screens are all about timing. Giving it time to develop is a big part of the screens. Blocking up field is a big part of the screens. The wide receiver screen, Courtland Sutton, that is not Courtland Sutton's fault. That is definitely the quarterback's fault for not audibling out. But I think the fact that we have Rypien playing means we don't have audibles to be able to throw into the play. And I think that's why that did not get audibled out. The running back screen was the one that I was most disappointed in. I think it was just bad timing, and he rushed it a little bit too much, and it was for a loss. So, Donnie, thanks for joining. Go Broncos. Let's get the win. We can do it. Yeah, I think we got this game, guys. I think our defense has their offense on their heels a little bit. Minus the one big play by Breece Hall, who's now, as I'm hearing, out for the rest of the game. They got Michael Carter in there, who's also a good running back. I think that with Breece Hall out, we have this defense on their heels. I think we're getting pressure. That's exactly what we need for this game, and something we talked about in last week's episode. And we just keep moving from there. Our run game. So we're alternating. Rob, love the comment. We're alternating back and forth. I think we've had all three running backs in there getting some touches. I think Boone did go out. I think he was limping out a little bit. He's quick to hit the hole. He's not very patient, but he has a very, very great acceleration when he gets the ball, which is something that we need in this game. But I think all the running backs, like, there's some holes that aren't opening up, which is unfortunate, but for the most part, our running backs are doing pretty well. All right, Eddie, is it me or do we look really good with Brett? Okay. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I think the showing here is our offensive play calls have been there. The ball has not been delivered properly, I think. There's a couple times where you have our running backs one-on-one with some linebackers on the outside, and he's making the right call. He got some out and ups. You got some stop and goes on the tight end side, and it's just being a little bit overthrown. I think the timing is a little bit off with the backup quarterback, and that's a little bit tough. I think what this shows is that Hackett's calling proper plays, and then that the stuff that we're seeing with Russ is stuff that he's audibling into or showing into. So I think the combination of the two plays, I think we're seeing this time, we're seeing a complete, for the first time, I think we're seeing a complete Hackett called offense for the first time with what he's comfortable with in a backup quarterback. So that's what I'm going to say. We're going to see what happens in the second half. I think the play calls have actually been really good, and I think that the execution has been a little bit rough. Again, you can't blame a backup quarterback most of the time, but there's some times that you see some wide open guys. And I don't blame Rypien for throwing that, for the record, I don't blame Rypien for throwing that back shoulder in the back of the end zone that almost got picked, even though it should have been a pass interference. So there we go. Where is Sutton? Yeah, so they got their number one corner on Sutton. They've targeted him a couple times, and that corner is just absolutely blanketing him, and sometimes too much to the point where the refs aren't calling it. But I think we'll see him in the second half. I think he's going to have a big second half and have a big part of this. If not, you're going to see guys like KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy continue to just absolutely light it out. Colin, I'm going to go on the opposite side. Hackett, one and done. I don't think so. And if you're seeing it here, you're showing what really can happen in the Hackett system and what's open and what's not. Derek McManus, hey man, like I'm not in Denver, but as you're looking at that wind is absolutely nuts. The missed extra point was not McManus's fault. That was our punter's fault for the hold. And then the missed field goal, it was a 55-yard field goal with 30 knot winds. You saw it was like a knuckleball. He had to try to drive it in there because there's no way he kicks it normally without letting the wind just absolutely take care of it. So I'm not going to blame McManus. He's been our longtime guy. I think he's the only guy left from Super Bowl 50 on our football team. So got to give love to McManus, man. Got to keep giving love to him. All right, Rob. Brett isn't perfect. I just want to win. I don't know who the quarterback. I don't care who the quarterback is. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Brett can do it. Hackett's having a tough time trying to call with knowing what Hackett can and can't do, not knowing what he fully has because he's been working with Russ the whole time. But I think what we're seeing is some good play calls, some interesting execution. Some of the runs are a little bit rough, but that's about it. We keep on keeping on, and I'm in Castle Rock cheering my ass off. Hey, Paul, welcome. Thanks for joining us from Castle Rock. Remember back in the day when Castle Rock used to literally just be the rock and a side stop on the side of the road, so don't want to show my age too much here, but appreciate you joining us from Castle Rock. All right, are we still worried about the Hackett job? So right now, I don't think so. I think what you're seeing in this game is Hackett calling a good game. I think our penalties are going down. It's the little baby steps that I don't think a lot of people are really realizing, right? Score and record is one thing, and a lot of people look at that, but when you're as an ownership group, what are you doing as a coaching staff? Like, things are going bad, what are you doing to fix them? That's what you want in a head coach, is as long as you're continuing to fix them throughout the years, and I think the one thing that they really fixed, at least in the first half, right? Halftime hash. At least in the halftime hash, we're looking at they fixed penalties. We're not shooting ourselves in the foot. We have a backup quarterback that we're still driving on. This team is 4-2. We can't denounce that. Their offense is really good. Our defense is still playing very well. So we got all those things going for us. I don't think Hackett has a job issue right now, and I think if he can continue making these improvements, especially after the bye week, then we'll continue going. We got to get a win here so that we stay in playoff contention. I'm going to pull it out because normally, oh, there, my daughter took it out of here. I don't have my hibiscus in here. So normally I pull it out and I show you that we're not mathematically eliminated. There's a lot of football left to play, and I think there's still a chance. I'm going to wear the orange and blue goggles till I die, and that's where I'm going with for that one. So I think Hackett's still got a good choice, and I think you're seeing it in this game, and I think a lot of people are going to see it in this game. A lot of those plays are not Hackett's call, and I think that's what you're seeing here. Those 3rd and 1 quarterback sneaks are just bring a lot of joy to my heart. So, all right, Andrew, thanks for joining, man. Enjoy watching Sutton try to mark the out of bounds punt for officials. Yeah, so that's basically all you've gotten out of Sutton so far. But I'm telling you, man, they're trying to blank him because they know, and not for nothing, they think it's a system build that you try to look at the one receiver. When I really do think that it's a Russ thing, man. Russ really looked at Sutton as his primary receiver and didn't look around, which is why you're seeing guys like Judy kind of having a pretty good day today, getting some things going back on. So. That's really what it comes down to. I think they're just trying to shut down Sutton because they think he's our only playmaker, and we all know that's not the case. All right, El Paso, Texas, love it. Going to be there during Thanksgiving in the general area. So thank you for watching from El Paso. Really appreciate it, Ernie. All right, so here we go. Last minute, we're getting ready to kick the game back off. Rob says it's coming back on. It's not on, but it's coming back probably pretty soon. I'm at about 11 minutes, so I assume it's coming back on pretty soon. So here's my last minute thoughts. You guys post some last minute comments, please, and make sure that we watch and hope. Look, this game is not over. We're down by 1 point because of the last minute field goal from the New York Jets. However, I think our offense is driving pretty well on this defense. I think that we have a chance if we adjust the halftime. We're going to see what Hackett really shows, and everybody blaming Hackett, everybody blaming Russ. We can really see what happens when you have a backup quarterback coming in like Rypien, and while there's some certain miscues, right, that you're going to get with a backup, but I'm on the page of the calls are right and the execution is wrong, and if that's what's going to happen, I think Hackett is in the right. I think that we're going to see that, and I think that Russ might be able to see that. And hopefully when Russ comes back, because he can execute some of these things, they're on the same page a little bit more to see like, hey man, see how this works, see how this can happen. So this is where I'm going. I appreciate you guys watching the Halftime Hash. I'm Jared. We've been here for 6 years. Make sure you guys are following us. We got pre-game shows, post-game shows. Our Tuesday night flagship show is on anything that you're watching on right now. That's where we're on. That's our Bourbon Broncos No BS. We break down everything from the game before to the next game that we want to see. We got our Monday After Dark show after Monday Night Football. We got either Jason or Kevin jumping on those. We got a lot of content for you guys. Go make sure you guys are watching all of that. And again, I appreciate you guys joining us. Appreciate everything. I got to drink some water because I'm getting a little dry. I appreciate you guys watching. And as always, we're going to end it off on a very strong Go Broncos.